Ooh, this one is really heavy. Interesting one. It's a time for package from China. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's awesome that you're tuning in. So in this video we are going to take a close look at the PAP KII, or better said the Vita 2 Plus. I have no idea how I got to pronounce it. It's kind of a weird name. But there's also like the PS Vita knockoff lookalike device. And yeah, how is it in 2022 and is this thing still worth picking up? Do you know what the weird thing is with these devices? That we're going to get like old school features, but the weirdest thing is basically that we're not going to get a discount on these devices. That is even a weird thing about it. So the handheld itself supports a lot of different platforms, but in the end what you're going to get is mainly like up to, let's say, arcade. PlayStation 1 is not supported. Then we're going to get ourselves a 4.3 inch TFT screen, not an IPS display. It comes with a GZ 4760 dual core CPU and it has 4 GB of memory. But in the end, when you're looking at all the functionalities what the thing have, it is nothing really fancy now. And that is the weird thing. And that is the question, like, is this thing worth picking up? I think if you pick this thing up for, let's say, $25 or maybe less, it will be like a cool piece of technology. It's like going to become like more like Chinese handheld history, because these devices can still be bought in many different form factors and different colors. But when it comes to the functionalities, there we're going to get some differences. It comes with a very nice long quality cable, or quality, let's say more the better quality cables. And then we're going to get, yup, a mini USB connection. So that is what we're going to call some retro stuff. And here we're going to get the manual, and with the manual, we're going to get ourselves the basic manual, the toilet paper manual, like always, explanation how the system works. I love it how they show like Street Fighter 4 is it, and had nothing to do with Street Fighter 4. So the build quality, that is going to be like a mix feeling, but in overall this thing has quite like a nice weight to it. It is very slimmed, and that is something I really like. Of course we're going to get ourselves the shitty camera, we're going to get speakers at the back. At the front we're going to get ourselves the normal layout. We're going to get this weird 4-button layout. It needs to be the D-pad, the A, B, CD, not XY but the CD, select start, and 2 slider joysticks. Yeah, the slider joystick, I'm not a big fan of them. Here at the top we're going to get the reset, on and off, volume control. We do have an option for TF card. We do have an option for HDMI that we're going to check out. We're having here the headphone jack out, and we're going to get the USB connection. But I would not be surprised if the HDMI didn't work. Okay, so let's see what we're going to get with the latest model. Let's turn it on. And I just realized I didn't charge it. Yeah, it has been in for some time in my storage now. Crap. But let's take a close look at the device itself and the main menu. So yeah, the TFT display has like a very poor like view angle, like not great. So here we're going to get the thumbnails, so basically you can make a quick selection. Sadly, there is no way of chatting, basically like swapping it out. So that's something I really hate about these things. Like there's a lot of stuff on it, and if the file behind it is not working or it is missing in the end, like we're going to have like a dead link and there's no way to check it out and to fix it. Okay, then we're going to get CPS, Neo Geo, Game Boy Advance, Super Famicom, Mega Drive, Famicom, Game Boy Color, Sega Master System, Game Gear, and the Game Boy Classic. When it comes to port, here we do have the option to basically like listen to music. Then we're going to get the camera functionality, and I can say like the camera functionality are like from the year 1999. Ah, there it is. Took forever to load, but you can see like it's a really bad camera. Don't know why they even trying. Then we're going to get microphone and watch a pretty picture. So that's basically what we're going to get over here with an ebook function. You can browse through the files, and here we're going to get settings, but that's the only thing that we're going to do with it. System settings, here we can see like this is version 3.1224. okay, it got built-in 16 GB of storage. We can change up some things like the sound effect, but it always like keep freezing somehow. Oh yeah, so I find it's quite he's quite slow in my opinion when it comes to configurations. But yeah, that's the thing that we're going to get and what we can do with the handheld itself. Okay, so when it comes to the gameplay and how good it runs, so there we're going to get some mixed performance. Despite this is version number 3, what is a bummer with these devices, they will still run with the same hardware but also with the same software. But this game seems to be running just fine. I did hear some minor hiccups here and there. But one thing's for sure, like this freaking D-pad makes this game unplayable. So you're basically forced to get using this freaking analog stick. Okay, so another great feature that we're going to get, we do have the option for checking out the game settings like volume, brightness. We even can put it back in the original aspect ratio if you want to. So another option that is pretty damn cool and you don't see very often in like these cheap handhelds. Button set, we have an instant archive, so we basically can make a quick load and quick save. So it does have like the newer features like the cheap handhelds do have in, let's say, in the last couple of years. Okay, so next up, let's try a different game. We can hear with the audio that it didn't fix any issues. So it still runs like shit. That's such a bummer, because even with a low power CPU, it's possible to get these games to run pretty damn good. And again, like trying to play with the freaking D-pad, it's possible, but don't ask me how. Alright, next up, let's see if we can force it back into the normal option when it comes to the screen. Let's close it. Continue. And then you can see like it does have the option for 4:3 aspect ratio, but the downside to this is that we're going to get a black bar at the bottom and at the top. So basically it squeezes it all the way back. So and also with this, the audio quality is not very good, and we're also going to get a hiccup here and there. Come on man, it's 16-bit. All the sound effects are here. I don't notice any big input lags. But it didn't mess out. I did miss a sound effect over there where you're going to get into the rain. This is a great way to test this game out. You can see everything is like freaking messed up. So when it comes to Sonic 3 and the Mega Drive, it's absolutely garbage. Okay, so I wanted to try out a Game Boy game. And what's kind of weird, like with the 16-bit we do have like the borders at the bottom, top and at the side. But we don't have this with the Game Boy. In my opinion, the aspect ratio is way better. No, with the 16-bit era. Oh, I almost want to say the audio is better, but you can still having the same hiccups. Okay, so let's try to open it up and let's see what we're going to get in the inside, because I have no idea what kind of battery, and even if you're going to put it on the freaking package, it's not even sure they're going to use it. So when you're looking at, let's say, one of these cheap devices, emulation performance, it's pretty damn messed up. Even that they're using, like, say, later models, they are still having the same freaking issues. It's such a bummer because, in my opinion, it's just not necessary. And that is something that I always like a lot to make reviews about these things, just to see how bad or how good these things are. In this case, how bad. Let's get the last screw out and let's see if we can open it up. So when it comes to the way how it feels quite solid and feels also quite heavy. But let's be very gentle and just pry it open with some tools. You can see there is some space here. Oh, I don't need a tool. Oh no, I don't need a tool at all. Position. Ah, there it is. Alright. So let's see, they did use some double sticky tape to get the speakers in place. So one thing I'm surprised to see that we're actually going to get 2 speakers. Now you're wondering like why I'm surprised. Like normally when you're going to see like one of these, let's say, cheap devices, they normally never use 2 speakers. Like I don't know why that is, but I think it's a cost-effective thing or something like that. Okay, so I think there is no way of getting this thing loose. Yeah, it is. Okay, cool. So that makes it way better. Alright, so what we're going to get in the inside over here, we're going to get ourselves a 1200 milliamp battery. And they solder it straight into the main board. So there is nothing fancy here to see, to be honest. Funny thing is like there are some speaker holes over here, so I don't know why this is. Or a speaker hole there. Here we're going to get the analog stick. Let's see if there's any production date. We do see here, this is the GZ4760B processor. and they do not lie on the package when it comes to that. Okay, replacing some parts will be quite difficult. You can remove the shitty camera, you can see it over here. So in my opinion, they can just get rid of this thing. You can replace the display itself, but there is no information regarding the date when it's made. But yeah, I can do a further teardown, but basically what you're going to get is just like a lot of membranes, and then we're going to get ourselves the display itself. So I'm just going to leave it in. For me, like especially I wanted to see like what kind of battery we're going to get in the inside. And 12 milliamp is not a lot. It will only give you like a couple of hours of playtime. And this is a very tiny display. I think it's around 19 inches or something like that. But the audio quality itself is not great. But when it comes to the video quality, yeah, that's what we can expect when it comes to AV out signal. It's not that great. Not that great at all. Alright, so let's boot up a game. And the same goes with the audio quality of the freaking output is really bad. But again, it's still playable. It's pretty damn cool. You can play some old school games this way. So far I know there is no way of putting an extra controller, so this is absolutely one player only. But I just wanted to show you, you can only put it into different settings, and it doesn't matter which setting you choose, you're not going to get HDMI signal out of the connection. And it's just a little bit of a bummer. I tried to reset it, stuff like that. It's like a big bummer that it doesn't work, because it would be like a very cool feature, despite the audio quality is not great. So when it comes to the handheld party, yeah, better said the handheld jungle, there's so much stuff that we can buy. And sadly, these older ones are not getting cheaper, right? I already mentioned at the beginning of this video. And the downside is that we're going to get like still the same stuff that we have seen a couple of years ago. So that means we're not going to get an IPS display in it. The buttons are like really bad. For example, I've noticed that sometimes even the down buttons get sticky. The quality, they could do better, and if you want to sell these things, they need to be like dirty cheap. Think about like around $20. That would be pretty damn cool. Because when you're going to pay like around $50 or more, you're going to get way better options. But I thank you for watching. Consider subscribing, hit that little bell, become one of the Wicked family. Let me know what you think of this PAP KII. Is it something you still think it's worth picking up? It would be great to see you in the next video. So hit the little bell, and I will see you in the next video.